Hello, Tom, aka Jeddio here for Tabletop Tap Room, and I just want to say this is not a docu-series movie on Justin Lanassa. Some of you might have been expecting that, but it is not. That is not what this is. So far, he's been behaving himself. He did bark at me on Twitter, which is okay. Free country, free speech. But he left families out of it, so I'm not obligated to make a movie, to make a video on him in the docu-series. But this is regular reporting on a development within the community. So let's get right to it. We have news coming out of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, and they have made an announcement. Attention, all publishers, writers, comics writers, and game designers. This is your answer to all content labeling. I didn't know that there was a problem with content labeling. Free for a limited time. Let me repeat that. Free for a limited time. Let's try that one again. Free for a limited time. Key phrase. Pay attention. To use on your games, novels, graphic novels, board games, and tabletop RPGs. Now, I thought when I saw this that they were referring to this this trademark, which is odd because they already tried this when they offered to license any of the TSR trademarks or logos, and people didn't take them up on it. So now we'll give it away for free, and then we'll charge you. But that's not what it is. If you click on the link, it takes you to the tsrhobbies.com website. And here we have a whole page for TSR meters, open source on, adults, 17 plus, so on and so forth, all the way down. Well, I just want to point out a couple of problems with this. Adult only, 18, red hot. It's like we are glorifying risque content. I mean, doesn't that just make the the 13-year-olds want to get at that, use it anyways? This is not helpful. One other observation here. I should probably blow this up for you so you can see the glorious lower Lanassian. Is the random capitalization. Now in the meters themselves, everything is all capitalized. One of the banes that you find in things written by this company and people in this company is the random capitalization. But even though they have gotten everything capitalized here, so we don't have random capitalization, everything's capitalized. What we do have here is like random point sizes on the type. It's just up and down and then even smaller. It's absolutely crazy with the random. It's annoying to look at, actually. So then the next thing coming down here to back to random capitalizations is like here under suggestive themes. We're reading mild provocative references or materials referring, capitalized, to heterosexual. Why is referring capitalized? It's the random capitalization again. I don't get it. And then over here, one of my now I'm going to make a joke here, and I just want to say that this word it's not funny. Okay, it's not funny. It's just the fact that they've randomly capitalized it is funny. That this violent act is heinous. So you have a rating within this rating system for intense violence, and it's graphic and realistic looking depictions or references of physical conflict may involve rape, capital R. And then everything else, blood, gore, weapons, depictions of human injury and death. The rest of that, it's not as important as the R word. So we're not going to capitalize it. I don't get this. And as I thought about this, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Blazing Saddles. Do you remember Blazing Saddles when who was the actor? Was that Harvey Korman? Where he's interviewing all of the desperados and bad guys. There were like two Ku Klux Klan members in there, and and so you they're interviewing them. They're like, "What are your qualifications to be part of our, be part of our big hoopla thing here we're doing?" And so they're listing their crimes, and this one guy listed the R word twice, and Harvey Korman goes, "You said the R word twice," and he says, "I like the R word," and then Harvey Korman says, "Kinky," right? It's a product of its times, the 70s. But I remember that. I remember seeing that movie as a kid in the 70s. And and that's what came to mind here was like, so why is TSR making rape the star of the show, making the R word the star of the show? I don't know. I mean, could it be linked to that scene? Um, I don't know. So what happens when we click on uh one of these topics here? Sexual content, sexual violence, suggest things, tobacco vapor. What happens when we click on it? It takes us right to the Entertainment Software Rating Board, an already existing rating. They want to bojack existing ratings. Oh, we're going to solve a problem, but you'll pay us for it. If you had to, couldn't you use these? I don't know. I haven't really looked at this much, but I don't see why you couldn't use these. Maybe there's something I don't know. But yeah. So they're directing all their links right back to the Entertainment Software Rating Board, which pretty much means we're going to bojack their material and call it ours. So they want you to put this rating meter on your material, and it's going to say TSR Hobbies. It's going then down here it's going to say www.tsrhobbies.com and TSR rating meter copyright. It's copyrighted because we said so. Remember that? So what is going on? What in the Sam Hill is going on with this rating meter? Well, I'll tell you what it is. I think number one, first and foremost, it is a grift. It's free. Then once you put it on your product and you've gotten your product printed, now we're going to pull that string and go, pay the meter, baby. It's just like the meter maids in Boston, man. You put coins in the meter, that thing runs out. About 1 minute after it runs out, those meter maids in Boston have a teleportation device. They appear at the meter and write you a ticket. It's that bad. Trust me. Driven in Boston for work. So yeah. Pay the meter. Pay the meter, baby. Gonna be feeding coins into this meter every month. Because hey, you can't have TSR Hobbies name on your on your products. That you got to pay for that. It was only free for a limited time. Or they're probably going to say, well, if you can't pay, then what you can do is we got a program for that. Your product can become an official TSR product. So that we can legitimize ourselves, because we look at all these products, all these official TSR products. You can still keep all the profit from it. You just got to become an official TSR product to keep our meter rating on your product. That's what I think the grift is, but that's not really the full story. The full story is what I call the quest for legitimacy. It all began one day when an announcement was made that TSR is back, but it wasn't really TSR. But they were claiming to be the original TSR. Why? Because they needed legitimacy for what they were doing. So you claim to be all the other intervening TSRs that had existed, that had grabbed the TSR copyright and had used it without a problem, without any legal proceedings with Wizards of the Coast. None of those companies that tried to claim the legitimacy of being the original But this new company did. They then recruited the son of Gygax. Ooh. For Legitimacy, Duck Leeson, TSR royalty, bring them in. We need Legitimacy. Then they tried to license the trademarks that they grabbed. Oh, we'll license them to you to use. You can put these trademarks on your product, and it'll nostalgia. You'll sell more, but you'll pay us to have it on there. Uh, that's about legitimacy. They're trying to legitimize themselves. Then they bought a product called Dungeon Crawl and rushed it to publication because, hey, if we have a few products, it's not that we want to sell products to the gaming community, to gamers. We want to have products for sale, which is when you go and look at their store at the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. The store is full of crap. Somebody saw a Ranger patch, the curved Ranger patch one time, and they thought that was cool. So they got all these patches made up with Druid, Wizard, it's just crap that nobody wants in the store. There's nothing there. The cheap ass plastic dice spinner, the Wheel of Fate. You watch the video on it and you can tell, man, that is chintzy plastic looking. I'm not getting that. It's about legitimacy. They want to have, and let me just stop right here on the quest for legitimacy and address this one issue. How do I know they're not interested in being publishers that publish material for gamers? That it's about having something to sell. It's not about selling to gamers. It's about having something to sell. It's an important distinction. How do I know? How can I demonstrate that distinction? Well, it's very easy. Some other company like Frog God Games, Paizo, Wizards of the Coast, these other companies who are honestly looking to sell to gamers, these companies hire an editor and they make their product good. They make their product to be the best it can be for their customers. This company is not interested in making a good product for their customers. They don't care about an editor. Their attitude is, Grammarly works just fine, but we don't even use Grammarly half the time anyways. So, because they don't care about the customer. It's about having the product for sale. And again, more on the, how do we know they're not interested in serving their customers? Because the CEO of the company had a bunch of parody cards made up to attack his enemies and insert them into the Dungeon Crawl game. You don't do that if you are a company that is trying to serve your customers. You do that if you're serving your ego and wanting to vent spleen on people you hate. And rumor has it, and I can only say hearsay through a third party, there was a parody card that was made up that didn't get put in the game, that the CEO of the company was talked out of putting in the game. And if he had put it in the game and it had gotten out, this parody card, it would have had the community in an uproar, because the person it would have been parodying is a very sweet, woman, very nice artist, TSR royalty, and it would have been taking a dump on her, and it would have been very nasty. And I guarantee the community would have been in an uproar over that. It would have been the kind of uproar you see in a Frankenstein movie, where the villagers get the pitchforks and the torches, and they go storm the castle and drag the Frankenstein monster out by the collar of his neck. That's the kind of uproar that would have happened from that. So you don't do that. You don't do this kind of thing if you're looking to serve your customers. You're looking to sell to your customers stuff that they want. You're just putting that stuff in there to vent your spleen and to stroke your own personal narcissistic ego. That's how you know that game epitomizes the fact that this company is not interested in selling to customers. It's just about having a game for sale to legitimize the company as a gaming company. And so the same thing goes with Abaddon, the cult of Abaddon. Um, and then there's the pitiful brag on Twitter about we've sold 90, and numerous people chimed in. Really, I'm a nobody, and I did 150. I sold 150 through my Kickstarter, and I've worked for a fan magazine. We'd drop the fan magazine, and within 4 weeks we'd have 800 to 1,000 downloads of the free fan magazine, and then there'd be a good handful of people who go ahead and just purchased it, print on demand, and throw a few extra bucks in the tip jar, for the magazine. So 90, not much, but it's not about selling to customers. That's the reason why people who have bought Dungeon Crawl and have bought the Cult of Abaddon have not received their stuff. Even though they claim they shipped, people have not received their games that they bought, have not been shipped to them. They're not interested in serving the customers. They're interested in something else, and it's about legitimizing themselves as a game company for another purpose, not about being a game company that sells to customers. I'm droning on that. It's an important distinction. So now you see this content meter, which is just bojacking the ESRB. It's totally unnecessary, but they're hoping by offering it for free that it'll become an industry standard, and then everybody will have to have it. But you noticed, I didn't stress that enough, did I? Free for a limited time. It's free for a limited time, and then they're going to pull that string, and then you've got to pony up the cash. And if you don't pony up the cash, I bet that what they're going to say is, well, if you allow us to make your product an official TSR game product, then you can keep the content rating on there for free. You won't have to pay us. You can still keep all your profit for selling it. We just get to have, it's a grift, and it's about the quest for legitimacy. And I'm telling you, the quest is not going well. Okay, it's a Don Quixote type quest where somebody's tilting at windmills. They tilted at the windmill called Wizards of the Coast, and that's not going to go well. They're tilting at the community with just the most nastiest tweets and posts in social media and Twitter, and that's not going well. The community does not receive that and does not like that. And why is that stuff going on? Because they don't care about the community. They don't care about selling to the community. They're just looking to use people. They're just looking to legitimize themselves, and it has more to do with Wizards of the Coast and the court case going on. One more legitimacy thing in the quest. When he sued Wizards of the Coast to take away the legacy disclaimer, and then started the Indiegogo. Now, the hope is that the community would get behind them for this fight against the legacy disclaimer, but the community didn't. But the hope is that the community would get behind them and support the Indiegogo and give them the 50 grand for fighting it in court. It would show it was part of a negotiation with Wizards of the Coast. It has more to do with that than it has anything to do with serving gamers. It's the quest for legitimacy, and Don Quixote is not doing well. The windmills are winning, and the windmills are going to win, and the quest is going to end miserably. It will be a failed quest because there is no legitimacy for this hack company, and people are not going to put this on their products. And if you're even thinking about it, I'm advising you don't fall into the trap. This is Tom from Tabletop Gaming. That is the state of our hobby today, Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. I guess that is the 31st. So thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great, and I did not know how great until this past week. You guys are fantastic, and I just want to say from my heart, thanks for all the messages of encouragement. My hand to God, you guys are great, and I love you, and I appreciate the support. And it makes me proud. I'm very proud in my heart about that. I just I was surprised by how good you guys are, and pat yourselves on the back. You deserve it. So thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.